So yeah, like I was saying, I thank God that they allowed us to get in the house because, like I said, we had went to the store. Me and my cousin and my little cousin, now we went to the store and we got back. I wasn't in the house about 5 minutes, y'all. It wasn't even 5 minutes, and we hearing boom, 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 and it seemed like it was like right there, but it was so close because it was right in the little driveway. Cause it was an apartment. And so we remember, y'all, we stand on the corner. And so my room right here, my baby room, it's right here. Even though he wasn't at home at the time, but I'm thinking long term. So when this happened, I instantly left. It was about a month later. I ain't even pay rent that next month. I used that money to go to the other place. See, it wasn't hard for me to move then because the first time I was trying to move when I had that flood and all that stuff and they didn't want to fix it, I was trying to still keep my Section 8. And so when I moved to these apartments, I was like, forget it. I ain't got time for no Section 8. I already lost it anyway because, I didn't find it in the time frame. So this time, I'm paying my cash money. So these folks, where I moved to, on the other end of town, they got me on up in there. And I thank God for that, God had me always working. And I ain't never been I never not worked. I always had 2 or more jobs. And I do mean 2 or more. And I thank God for that. But y'all, so we look out the window. Whole time, it was close. It was my car we just got out of. There was nobody but God because these folks could have shot at us while we getting out the car. They could have shot at us while we were driving up. Whole time they been looking. They had to been watching us the whole time for the shoot soon we get out the car. They was already watching. Had been watching. They could have shot us while we was in the house, going in the house, anything. So I called and let him know. Oh man, all right. Just hang up the phone like you really finna come do something. Y'all, I should have been through with him then. Still wasn't through with him. I ain't finna sugarcoat nothing. We had quit talking for a little minute. And I told him, don't come back around me. Don't come back to my house. And like, this, like, it was just so crazy. And like the person that called and told me about, they was wondering where he was at and stuff. So I called him. I said, I don't know what he had. Me and him is not together no more. I'm trying to calm the stuff down around for my child to come back and all that. And so someone's like just telling me, nah, you need to move. Because for once, I'm looking at my baby room on the end, my room right here. So people can really like ride down this street and just shoot up in the house and keep going. That type of on the corner. That's how my apartment, it was like on the corner. Like, y'all couldn't stay there because I wasn't going to get no peace. I wasn't going to be at peace. And then, somebody could just ride through and shoot. I had to go, baby. That did. I got the packing the next day. I didn't know where I was going, but I knew I wasn't finna be there long. I was not finna be there. I was ready to get a new car and everything. And I got my car, my window fixed or whatever, but I didn't even keep that car that long no more because it was like, I can't be riding around with no shot up car. I just couldn't do it. And so I wrote that car probably about 2 more months because it was like almost, I'm be on the text time, I wrote about 2 more months and I went got that loan and I got me another car. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I told you I ain't sugarcoat nothing out here. And so I had to let that car go. I went and got me a truck. And, I say about 2-3 months later, I'm in the other apartment. Started back talking to him. Yep, I was crazy. I was very crazy because I know where in the world I should have started back talking to somebody that really shot somebody up in my car, got the heat basically on my car, and everybody looking towards my way because they know you normally will be there, but they see you ain't there now. So now they shooting up my car trying to call you out. That's all that was. Because now they ain't seeing you drive the car no more. They ain't seeing you coming to the house no more. They ain't seeing none of that. So now they finna shoot something close to you, trying to see would they make you come out. Basically, like I had already told him. God had already put me up on that guy and told me, God used to put me up on all this stuff and I used to just let it fly through my ear. Like he would let stuff fly through his ear and I used to tell him because God was letting me know certain stuff And when I tell him, he try to dumb me down like I'm just talking too much, or I don't, like I'm just doing too much. Whole time, yeah, I was right. I was right the whole time. So please, y'all, that gang stuff and that street stuff, man, that life played out. We 30 plus now. That stuff is not called for. And some of them still want to be affiliated with this stuff at the age 30 and plus. I'm just being honest. They do. And that stuff, man, at this point, if God don't allow you to make it out that stuff and allow you to still be alive when you was going through a lot of dumb stuff back then, it's time for you. In my opinion, if I was a man going, them bit through all that, I'd be trying to instill in some more younger boys that want to go down that route and let them know and get them life stories that I done went through, and stuff I done caused harm on other people, and let them know, man, it ain't worth it. Go to school, do what you gotta do. And I know college ain't for everybody, but it's something better that you can do out here than being in the gangs, dibbing and dabbing, making little peanuts and stuff. I ain't even enough to pay a light bill. I'm just being honest, y'all. That's the type of time they should be on right now. But it's some people that's really still heavy on it, gang in the street life. I mean, like, it plays out. After so long, you gonna be just stuck, and all you doing is just using this money to get some more stuff. Like, you gotta be selling bukus of stuff to see some real money. To my knowledge of it, I ain't never dib and dab like that, but I was around it. You gotta sell bukus, something to really see some money. This little bitty OZ, this and that. I don't want to say too much, y'all, but you ain't getting number little peanuts. That ain't enough money to risk your life. No, that ain't enough money for that. Go to school. Go get you a degree or something, man. That's what they need to be telling these young kids. Go get a job. If you don't want to go to school, just get a job. Just do something different than being in the street. Because that street life, you ain't going to be nowhere but dead or in jail. And when you in jail, sometimes you die in there. Because it's people that's been in there forever and know they ain't going to get out. So now they got certain little cliques and all this and trying to make this person come to their clique. And if they don't, now they want to fight them and, just cause harm to them. Just because they want to be by themselves. It's dangerous in jail. It's dangerous on these streets. The streets is nowhere for a young child. And I thank God that my son, I ain't going to lie, my oldest, he seen a lot that he shouldn't have seen. But God had his hand on him. My son, he being honest with me, he was his oldest, well, he ain't his oldest cousin, but they the same age. And he spent the night, over their house. And he told me, said, Mama, I ain't gonna lie, I did try to smoke before, but I never do it again. I think he about 14, 15, we all don't try to smoke and stuff young, And I told him, never lie to me, tell me the truth. And I thank God that we had a relationship. He can be honest with me. And he said, Mama, I don't see how y'all you smoke. I feel like I was out of my mind or something. That ain't for me. I said, it's good. I'm glad you feel like that. So I know I ain't got to worry about him doing that. And he don't like liquor. He tell me when I used to drink, you ain't doing nothing, putting spirits in your body. And he was right. He was right. And I thank God for getting me away from all that mess. I don't go to clubs no more. The last time I went to the club, y'all, about 2-3 years ago. About 3 years ago. Yep, going on 3 years ago. And y'all, I tried to go 2 times before I just actually quit. Cause it was like I wanted to go, but then when I get there, I had a different feeling. That's how I knew God was telling me it wasn't for me no more. Yeah, I'm in a club. I never just been a real big dancer. And anyway, I used to just, just do little stuff like that. I never was like all that other stuff. I like to see what's going on. God always had me like that. I ain't never, get too zooted. I can't do that. I had to see what was going on. But y'all, it wasn't in my spirit to be there them last couple times. And I ain't been back ever since. My last birthday, me and my kids went out of town for a whole week. And I enjoyed myself. But I love you, family. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Like and subscribe for more of my testimonies. And just chat with me. I love y'all.